Good morning, kids. It is March 8th, Thursday, the B Cup here on Facebook and on YouTube. So, good morning, children. And I want to talk today again quickly. We're going to have a short B Cup because I got a lot to do. But I really want to talk about what is going on with the supposed diversity of our community that is actually not really diverse. Diversity creates a community, not this is how we're all supposed to be. We all fit into a mold of how you have to be. That's not diversity, my friends. That's something else. That's fascism or some kind of way of telling us how to be. And if we don't get on board, if you're not on board with how it is to be, then you're not transgender. It's getting to be very frustrating, children. Help me. Help Trampa. Help Trampa understand why there has to be such pushback from people in our community if you don't conform to the way they talk. And then now you're like just against everybody. This immature behavior, how do we teach maturity? I guess that's my question. How do we teach maturity? Good morning, Kelly Irene, and Tony, and Alex J, and Patrick, and Andy Wu, and Angel, and Anika, and Alexander, and Anika, and Kelly Irene, all the regulars. Right on, my friends. So, for real, I want to talk about how do we get back to a mature community. There's so much immaturity about who's what, where is what, whose voice is this, and someone's going to come on here and say, who hurt you, Buck? Why are you so angry? I'm not angry. I'm concerned. Being angry is different than actually having a lot of concern for the direction of what is happening within a community that is supposed to be diverse and is supposed to be loving and is supposed to actually engage with people to have different opinions and different ideas. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing? So good morning, Kelly Irene. Okay, tag me. Okay, Jamie, good morning. And Steve, good morning. I'm good. Everything is great. Yes, you are cool, Kelly Irene. Everything is great. My life is amazing. I have nothing but amazing stuff in my life. The thing that is, it's not upsetting to me, but I'm concerned with the attacks on people who don't necessarily conform to this idea of what it means to be a transgender person today. Or when somebody decides that they're in the binary in the transgender world. Now you can't be binary because you are pushing the cisgender agenda. There's no cisgender agenda. There is no cisgender agenda. That is, again, made up stuff. That is made up propaganda in order to make people feel as if they cannot be in the binary. I'm in the binary. I believe in the binary. It's a real thing, the binary. If you don't want to be in the binary, don't be in the binary. But just because I choose to be a man does not make me a bad person, and it does not make me actually going against the transgender community. That's dangerous behavior, kids. Stop it. Stop really looking out. This is, I think, the problem. We look too out and we don't look in at ourselves. If you're not looking at yourself first, you have no right to be looking out. You have no right. You must look inward. It is so important. And we've lost, hi Nick, we've lost so much of our focus because all of our focus is on everyone else and not on yourself. When you take care of yourself, everything kind of works out. But this idea that you don't have to focus on you, but you have to focus on the people that are upsetting you is actually the reason that everything is falling apart. And everything is falling apart in the transgender community, whether you want to admit it or not. People are getting very upset about it. People are feeling very disconnected from being transgender. People are feeling very lost. And it's a lot of the young children. They're Trampa. What does it mean? Am I trans? Do you know when I have a 17-year-old kid write me, Trampa, I'm confused. Am I transgender or am I transsexual? That concerns me. That concerns me because you should know who you are. To have to ask me whether or not you're transgender or transsexual is really actually dangerous behavior because we're not giving clear definitions. And that's why I really think it's important for me to speak okay, about myself being a transsexual person, because it is different than being a transgender person. And when we do umbrella terms and we lump everything under an umbrella term, people's identities get lost, especially people who are trying to figure out who they are. But if they don't have clear-cut definitions about who they are, at least to start with, they are completely, totally confused. And now a lot of youth are confused about what it means to be a transgender person, or am I trans? If you're asking me if you're trans or not, you're probably, first off, not trans. Secondly, you need to go to therapy. And you need to understand, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for you? It's so basic. I knew that I was always a man. 100%. Was born a woman, felt like a man, knew what I needed to do eventually to get done. I had surgery, I took hormones, I changed my whole appearance physically to fit the way I felt from the inside. That is it. There's nothing more, nothing less. I have a pretty basic definition of who I am, what I wanted to be, who I became, and why I became that. But that doesn't mean you have to have that. All it means is you need to figure out, what is your path? What is it that you want to accomplish in your life that is missing? What is it that's going to make you feel better about being you? Not about what the world is going to like about you, but what is going to make you feel good about you. And that's what people are missing about my story. I knew I was a man. I was born a woman. I needed to fix it. I used hormones and surgery to fix it, and I live authentically today. It doesn't mean you have to do that, but to disrespect my choice of identity and my choice of how I wanted to become this man is disrespectful. And it is not what we should be doing to each other in the transgender community. Defining me because you don't like your own definition is dangerous behavior. You cannot define other people's journey. You cannot define other people's choice of identity. You cannot do that. Let me hear from you kids right now. Let's do this. Good morning, Sean and Danny. Xander says, yeah, wow. Elliot says, I agree, but I'm an old son. But I'm old. We know that. I'm old. I got it. Alex J says, I like the idea of what one person said a few videos ago. We need a dictionary just for us. It's true. Elliot says, something to relate to before you know who you are. A springboard. Exactly. It's just giving you these definitions, and then from that, you can build on your own identity. As you know, I built on my own identity. I wanted to be a man. I wanted to get a penis. It didn't exist, so I chose to be a man with a vagina, and I became very vocal about it. That's my journey and my story. It has no representation of anybody else. This idea that I represent a group of transgender men is ridiculous. I don't represent anybody. Neither do you. None of us do in this community. None of us. None of us. Even Laverne Cox, she does not represent us. She is just a transgender woman representing herself. It's so ridiculous, this behavior of you can't be different. Or if you are different and you're not on board with the way everybody, or if you don't speak the language, or you don't agree with the way that the community's going, you're not transgender, or you're a problematic person. That's cult language. When someone starts calling you problematic because they don't like your voice in a community, that's cult. That's, you're not speaking the language. That's scary. And I'm very scared of that behavior. Kelly Irene says, that was me, Alex. I got this and talk. Okay. Steve says, I think somebody can't live without sort of a guide or example. Yeah. Some people, they need it. Tony says, I am me. I am comfortable with my skin. If people think I'm wrong, then that's their problem. Whether I'm transgender. Yeah, I agree. But the problem is they do. They do, Tony. There is a problem out there because people do point fingers at me and say I'm problematic, or do point fingers at people in the community who aren't necessarily this whatever they want you to be. They don't want you to be cisgender passing anymore. They don't want you to fit in the binary. They don't want you to choose the word transsexual. They don't want you to be an individual. They want you to fit underneath their category so it makes them feel better about their choices. It's clear. So when the people like us are saying, no, that's not who we are, and you're co-opting the word transgender and making it into something else, that's why I choose transsexual. I am not transgender. Totally different. Totally different. And we need to talk about these things. And we need to say it's okay to use the word transsexual. It is a real, live, functioning identity for many people. I'm going to say it every day. I'm going to put it out there every day. I'm never going to stop saying transsexual. You're never going to get rid of the word. You're never going to get rid of me. And you're never going to get rid of the old voices that we are planning to bring back. It's very turfy, but the problem is this, Elliot. It's very turfy. But the problem is that a younger generation of voices in the trans male community is picking up on that vibe. And I'm wondering why. What's the insecurity that's happening in the younger... It's like between the ages of 18 to 20, early to mid-20s. There's a group of them that are these age group that are so angry and so mean and so, if you don't follow their rules and regulations, they think the things they call you and make up it's just shocking, actually. Thank you, Diane. I shaved, so I have a fresh shave. Maybe I always look like a little cleaner when I shave. It's funny how that can happen, right? Steve, what the fuck is wrong with this word? There's nothing wrong with the word. What's wrong is that people don't want you to use it in the community because they feel as if you are going off on your own, and they don't want you to go off on your own. They want you to be under the umbrella term, and they want you to go by their new guidelines that they've created. That's what the problem is. They don't like for you to have your own identity. It's very, very strange. Internalized self-loathing, yeah. And I think there's also this campaign now going against passing trans men who are binary and who get muscular and look good in their bodies. And then there's this total backlash of guys who are passing cisgender heteronormative. What? I can't even keep up with the language, kids. What's the language? The language is creating boxes. The language is creating labels, yet they're pretending like it's not. You're just creating new labels. You're creating new labels. Creating cisgender is creating a new label. Creating heteronormative is a new label. Creating whatever the fuck isn't just a label. Another label. I don't know. Anyways, kids, I got a lot of foam. Today my Nespresso machine went crazy and made me like all this crazy foam. So I'm gonna go. I love you guys a lot. I want to just come in and check in with you. I gotta finish writing my book today, some of my book stuff. My book's coming along. It's really difficult, and I think sometimes it's why I feel so burnout, because just talking about my past and where I came from. And you know, I'm gonna say this to you. It is why I won't shut up. The people out there who seem to be angry at me don't understand where I came from. I came from death, my friends. I came from the streets. I came from a horrible space to be the space I am today. And you think I'm scared? And you think I'm going to shut up? And you think that my voice doesn't count? You're out of your minds. My voice counts just as much as your voice counts. I've been doing this work before you even decided you were transgender. I have been focused on creating positivity in this community from the minute I picked up my porno camera and shot myself naked having sex. I've been very focused on this community, and I've put a lot of time and effort into creating a space where we can enjoy our bodies, enjoy our lives. So for people to come down and say that I'm problematic is upsetting to me. And it means to me that you don't really care about this community. And when you don't care about the older voices and you don't care about where you came from, you're just a privileged little brat who doesn't even understand that your refrigerator is stocked every day and you're never going to go hungry for a reason. And that is the reason why I continue to speak out. And that's why I seem like a cranky old man. Because I'm not going to shut up. You need to come back to maturity. We have lost so much maturity in our community. It is the immaturest, most name-calling, sandbox insanity that I've ever seen in my life. And old fucking Trampaw is not going to just walk away. It's not going to happen. Poo-poo pant babies. It's unfucking believable. And I'm an old fucking man who doesn't give a shit what you think about me. It's my opinion. Opinions count. Opinions count. Have an opinion, but do not think your opinion is better than anyone else's, because it's just your opinion. And that's all that matters. Remember that. Challenge people, challenge me, challenge thought, but don't get your panties in a wad when people aren't going to change their direction of thought. Do not do that. Express yourself with the intent of knowing that some people might disagree, and that is okay. But once you decide that you're going to voice your opinion and people don't agree with you, and then you get upset about it, you shouldn't be doing that kind of work. And you shouldn't be in the mix, because you're going to get your feelings hurt. My feelings don't get fucking hurt. I don't really fucking care. Do you know what I care about? I care about people killing themselves in this community. I care about people not being focused. I care about people being lost. I care about people not reaching the height of enlightenment that I have reached through my fucking transition. And that's all I fucking care about. So this desire to create this extensive disrespect and extensive pulling apart is creating what? It's creating hate towards each other. I don't create hate, my friends. I create love and acceptance and compassion. And that, if you don't see, you're missing. And you should spend a little time listening to me. That's all it is. Love you guys a lot. I love you guys on YouTube. Thank you always for listening to my ranting craziness. It's because I love you and I want to see you grow like I'm growing. That's all. That's all. Ask me, challenge me, be with me, don't be with me, but please love yourself. That's all in my message, my friends. YouTube.